If you have been recommended this video by the YouTube algorithm, then chances are you have taken admission or you're planning to take admission in B.Tech Biotechnology. And this video is a special whiteboard video on demand of one of our student, Prashant. Prashant wanted a clear-cut strategy, a clear-cut playbook for his B.Tech Biotech, and I understand that this is something which is required by many of you. So today I'm here to chalk out a plan, a path for anyone in any part of the world, whoever is planning to do a bachelor's in engineering or bachelor's in technology in biotechnology. So we interchangeably will be calling it as BE or B.Tech, okay? Because many parts of the world it is called as BE. So bachelor's in biotechnology. Now I will segment this entire playbook into 3 parts. Okay, and that would be based on the college you got. Now, let's say you got the top 10 colleges. The playbook will be different. It's not going to be same for everybody, okay? Somebody who got in the, top 1,000 colleges, the playbook will be different. And somebody who got a very mediocre or low college, which is no credibility, they are just having a course and you just took it because it's in your city. Now, we have to first isolate and identify what are the challenges you will face in any of these, okay? Now, the drawback and the pro and cons, I'll tell you both sides of a top 10 B.Tech Biotechnology college. So, I'll write it as P and C. C is cons, P is pros. Pro is their research infrastructure, RI, will be the best. But the cons is most of their professors will be more aligned towards academic research. So the way they will teach you is you also will feel like after your B.Tech you should go for only research and should be no other field, okay? So stereotyping happens, like, I feel like I should do only research, nothing else. So that is one problem you will face. Now let us look at other aspects of a top college. Of course, you're getting the right infrastructure, you will get top professors, right? But with top professors, if it is a government college, many a times you will see bad attitude. So these are the challenges you're going to face, even if it is a top college, right? So you have to insulate yourself from professors who have bad behavior, bad attitude, and do not get too much aligned towards only research in B.Tech, because there is so much more which can be done with your global degree. Now let's come to the top 1,000 college. So if you are in these colleges, the pro and cons. Now the pro will be professors will not push you only towards academic research, okay? So they will, be neutral. So they will teach you neutrally. That's benefit you get. So, that's a good thing actually. But the cons is there won't be any placement. In the top 10, definitely there will be placement, right? So that is one challenge you will face. But for that, worry not, we are there, we'll take care of you. Now, another pro will be the lab infrastructure will be there, but not very high, but yes, basic infrastructure will be there. You will be able to do your, college research in a better way. But of course, if you want high-end research like molecular stability studies or molecular docking, you'll have to go out and do it. You may not have these things in your lab. So that's the pro. And now the cons will be number of instruments per student will be limited. Like 10 students are using the same instrument. So the lab where actually the biotech lives is where you will, most of the time, lab will be a shared lab, a demonstrative lab rather than a hands-on lab. That is the challenge you will face. Now let's come to the low grade colleges. So of course, if it is a low grade college, the pro and cons, there will be no pro, only cons. No lab, okay? There won't be any lab, it's not there. Then, of course, professors will not be equipped with the right knowledge. So even theory, what they will teach you will be wrong or basic. And later on, of course, you can't expect a placement here at all. So if you are coming from a low grade college, even I cannot place you, sorry. It will require at least 1 year of rigorous training with us, then only we can place you. But people who are in the top 1,000 colleges, we can place you with 3 to 5 months of training. And people who are in the top 10, you just need to do the project with us and you will get placed. Now, here is a secret I'll tell you. Even though the top colleges have placements, they may not be able to place you because they don't have industry connections. It takes years to build industry connections, and colleges do so many things that, of course, this gets ignored. But since you have Biotecnika, we'll take care of that. So this is about the colleges. All right, so now in the next part of this video, we'll understand what are the type of industries where you can get a job and what are the steps you have to take to get that job. Now, any biotech or pharma company where you will look for a job will have 5 to 6 parts. You can get a job in any of those. But your curriculum will teach you only 2 types of job. One will be R&D, one will be manufacturing. And both jobs are highly crowded, so you will find it very difficult to get inside. So let's first find out what are the types of jobs you can get. So there will be a core job, the core R&D job, right? So let's write it as core. The second type of job will be clinical research. Now, under clinical research, there will be 2 parts: clinical research associate you can become, or clinical data manager, CDM. So core R&D is where the actual medicines are we try to discover. We try to get the right methods to develop a product or a service for the society. But can I go to the public and sell that? No, as the government of the country will not allow. So we cannot sell our biopharmaceutical product to the general public. We need to do animal testing and then human testing. That's clinical research. So you can get a job here and then you can get a job here. Now, once you have, okay, these 2 are ruled out, the third type of job where you can get will be once the drug has got the clinical testing done and it is now in the approval stage, we have to file with the regulatory agency. So that is where global regulatory affairs comes into picture, because there are 180 countries, every country has its own format, so you have to file the application. So that is where global regulatory affairs is one very good option for you. Now, after that, once global regulatory affairs, okay, you don't want that, what are the next steps in the industry? They will go for manufacturing, formulation and development. So this is where your B.Tech, actually they'll teach you only this or this. So if it is a top 10 college, no, they will, push you towards academic research and more higher degrees so that you can get into core R&D. If it is a top 1,000 biotech companies, biotech colleges, they'll push you towards the manufacturing R&D. Both are bad. Why do I say bad? Let me tell you. Here, since 1970, whatever companies have come up, right from Biocon till the latest one, okay, to establish a core R&D lab takes hundreds of crores. And then only a scientist can work. So imagine to make 10 scientists work, I have to spend 100 crores, right? So it's not a mass employment generator. So what happens is not everybody will get a job here. So what the colleges do, another shortcut is they'll send you for manufacturing. Now manufacturing is a factory floor. There will be night shift. So it's not always ideal for everybody. Once you get inside, you cannot. You have to maintain the aseptic conditions in the lab. So you can't come out. So for washroom also, if you go out, you have to again fully sanitize yourself, then only you can get inside the lab. So of course, these are protocols. But what I'm trying to tell you here is it's not bad for the company. Of course, they make money here. But for you, this may not be suitable. Now, what's next? Okay, they have done the manufacturing. They need to do the quality assurance and quality control. Now, quality assurance is a desk job. Quality control is a lab job. This is also something viable for you. Now, if you have interest in core R&D, but you don't want all that rigor, you have QA/QC, which is a mass employment generator. So your degree is very important. I'm not saying whatever they'll teach you in your class is waste. It is important, but don't get stereotyped towards the core research and development or manufacturing jobs, because both are not that easy. Here you will require a minimum of M.Tech or PhD. Here, of course, with a B.Tech, you can get inside as a bioprocess engineer, protein engineer, but there will be challenge. But if you go for these, of course, it's easy. Now, clinical research is a funnel. Hundreds of companies have to do 1 lakh clinical research sites. If I have one medicine also, I need 1 lakh clinical research sites, clinical research hospitals. So what happens now, this is a mass employment generator, MEG. mass employment generator. We can call it as mega. So clinical research, clinical data management is a mass employment generator. QA, QC is a mass employment generator. F&D is also a mass employment generator. But of course, if new factories are coming, new biopharmaceutical companies are coming, then only this will come. This is also, to some extent, you can say a mega job, means mass employment generator. Okay, let's quickly look at what is the qualification and experience you'll require. So for core R&D, as a B.Tech also you can go, but you will be called as a junior scientist. You will need 3 years of, experience to become a senior scientist or something. But after M.Tech, immediately you can become a, not a senior scientist, but definitely a scientist role you can get. Now, coming to clinical research, these are very easy jobs, always available, mass employment generator. Global regulatory affairs, again, 3 months of training, you can get jobs here. Now, very interesting observation, GRA and QA/QC are somehow overlapping. So, companies like people in quality assurance who have a global regulatory affairs experience and vice versa. Okay, so that's something you have to know. But there is one field which I have not mentioned. Now, this is a generic pharmaceutical or biotech setup, but there is one more field where you can go, and that is starting with D, diagnostic. Yes. So, what is happening today? More and more people are getting cancer, right? So, personalized medicine is the new trend. So the doctor will say, let's go for the genomic analysis of this patient before we prescribe the chemotherapy, because it can harm him, or maybe some other medicine which is suitable. So the doctors will send the samples to a lab which will do the NGS, which will do the genomic analysis. It will go to a bioinformatician, and then they will do the diagnosis, and the report is sent to the doctor. So now this is now whatever we saw here is a B2B business, means you are nowhere facing the customer or the consumer. Here you are facing the customer, that means the doctor, and the doctor is of course facing the patient. So you're sending the reports to the doctor. So companies like 4Base Care, MedGenome, again it's a mega job, means mass employment generator. So getting jobs in clinical research, GRA, QA/QC, manufacturing, F&D and diagnostics is easy. Core R&D is tough. But the top 10 colleges, the way they will teach, you will feel like I should become a scientist. But there are so many other jobs also you can get. If there is a company, there has to be sales and marketing, right? So many people think that sales and marketing, okay, as a B.Tech, if you're going, you should not go, it's not right. But actually every company needs sales and marketing. Sales and marketing is not bad. It is called as technical sales executive or a technical scientist or application scientist. That is a kind of job you get. Now here, you're not going door to door selling a diagnostic kit. You are going and meeting scientists as application scientists, and you are giving presentations showing the capacity of your instruments or your whatever you have, and then those scientists decide to buy. But there's nothing like you are pushing somebody to buy a product. So it's not a bad job. All you need is experience, and you can earn a lot of money here also. Now, apart from that, there is something called as scientific communication, which is also a very highly growing field. Now, scientific communication is one of the companies you can take example is Biotecnika. We employ more than 25-30 scientific communicators, and we are growing by the day. There are many companies like Times of India, Economic Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal. Every biotech, every media house, NDTV wants to hire somebody who understands science and also can put it in simple words for the general public. So that is where science communication is also. So here what you have to do is, after your B.Tech, you have to learn science communication and work with us. Otherwise, you can do a small journalism diploma, and that should be also good. But here also the salaries can go up to 2 lakh per month salary in science communication. Here also it can go up to 2 lakh rupees per month. Diagnostics, again 2 lakhs rupees per month. So clinical research, it can go up to 4 lakhs rupees per month actually in CDM. QA/QC will not grow immediately, but after 4 years of experience, it will grow. So all of this is the type of jobs you get. If you do M.Tech, now most of the colleges are in a business of selling you a degree. So they will say, B.Tech done, you should do M.Tech for a placement. M.Tech done, you should do a PhD for a placement. I am strictly against that. Degree after degree doesn't help you. It just narrows your scope or, chances of getting a job. For example, a PhD in cell biology may not get a job in molecular biology. So there are differences, or genetics. So you have to, know that higher the degree, narrow the number of companies you can apply to. So that is where you have to keep in mind. Now let's look at another aspect of, textbook aspect of getting a job, and that is a government job. So what people do, okay, I've done a B.Tech, I'll go for a M.Tech. then I'll go for a PhD, and then I'll apply for the government. That's a textbook way of doing things. But how many government jobs are coming every day? My honest opinion is that's something you should really try. Now, let's look at the global aspect. We have Biotecnika Global, and a lot of global jobs are coming. So as a B.Tech, can you get global jobs? Answer is yes. You'll have to start as an intern in Germany, France, and so you apply through Biotecnika Global, and then once you've got it, you go there, work as an intern for 3 to 5 months, and then you start with your regular job. Now, another thing is, what if I go for higher studies, M.Tech or MS in US or Canada? Will that help? See, the citizenship rules, the work visa rules, there is so strict that even if you do go for a master's, they'll send you back the next day. If you really want to go abroad for a job, you should finish your master's or whatever B.Tech and then go for a PhD there. So to get a scholarship, PhD is considered a job and not a degree. So you're already in a job, so it becomes easy for a PhD to switch to a regular company. So you get work visa easily, and not a lot of people in that country are doing PhD, and PhD is how the science progresses. So yeah, that is something. Now let's be very specific about the salary numbers. Which among these will pay you the highest salary at the lowest level? The answer is clinical data management. Okay, clinical research, but you are working in a hospital. Clinical data management, it's a desk job. Highest paying salaries. Then of course R&D, but it will take at least 5 years of seniority to get what CDM gives you within 3 years of that, right? Drug safety is another thing where you can get highest salary. GRA is something where you can get highest salary. Diagnostics is where you can get highest salary. But here it will never grow, and it is the highest riskiest job. Here it grows after 3 years. So first 3 years you have to work, and then once you have gained experience, it grows, right? Now, if you look at SM, of course it grows, and then SC, of course it grows with seniority. It's like a corporate desk job. So this is all about the kind of jobs you can get after your B.Tech. You don't require a M.Tech also. However, if you're interested in M.Tech, and then core R&D will be something. For clinical research, you don't need a M.Tech. For GRA, you don't need a M.Tech. For manufacturing, you can have M.Tech, that's fine, that's a fancy degree. QA/QC, you can have an M.Tech, again, it's a fancy degree. But it's entirely yours, your decision. Now, for the students who are doing the third, like the worst of the colleges, they don't have any research infrastructure, they don't have any lab, the professors are not good. If you're stuck there, nothing to worry. You have to enroll into any of the year-long programs in Biotecnika. Very soon we are going to come up with some diploma programs which you can do, and then work with our lab partners in IISc Incubated Lab, Protein Design under Dr. Deepti Saini. So you can learn that, and then you can easily get placed in the industry also. So there is a thing which I would like to highlight, and that is about luck. Many people think that getting a biotech job is luck. My question to you is, don't you think you are already lucky? You studied in an English medium school, or whatever, you were born in, not in Africa, but in India. You have a fully functional body, you are healthy. Everything is luck, okay? So you have to engineer your luck. Like you are doing a biotech engineering degree, you have to engineer your luck. And how do you engineer your luck? By doing 4 things, okay? Number 1 is take hands-on training, whether Biotecnika or anywhere is fine, but do a hands-on training. Be ready with the trends. The latest trend is computational biology, AI, ML, so learn that. And then you have to do some projects. So do hands-on training on the lab part, do the training for the dry lab part, then of course, do some projects. You can work with us, or any CSR lab you can work, and then publish papers. Once you've done all these 4, come to us, we'll definitely place you. Easiest way to get started would be picking any of the courses which is available on Biotecnika. Learn it. It's all online, so you don't even have to come here. If you want to come here, you're most welcome to come and meet me and work with our scientists in Biotecnika CRO. Then you get the job. The trick here is studying properly. See, if you do not study your degree properly, I can't help you. So even if the teacher is not teaching, you will have to study. Take health and finish it off. And by the 3rd year, you should know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going after the 3rd year, it's really dangerous. The first year, build the fundamentals. The 2nd year would be again building the skills and the hands-on training. The 3rd year will be internship, portfolio, projects. The final year should be actually paper publication. And of course, remember, B.Tech is one of the best degree you can get and the money can buy for you. Your college is a ROI. So you have to get that ROI. You have invested heavily on your college. You must get an ROI. The degree is the door, the gateway, but it is not everything. The 4 years decides which among these you will pick, but it's gonna be your decision. So let me know which one among these you would be more interested in. I'll make a deep dive video on each one of these using the same whiteboard method so that we can come to a conclusion. We can help you become better in your biotech degree. All the best.